Hey guys, my name is Scoby and welcome back to another video. In today's video I'm going to be showing you how to set up and use a PlayStation 5 controller on your Nintendo Switch 2. This is going to be a nice quick and easy tutorial. Let's jump right into this. So the first thing I will be mentioning in today's video is sadly it's not possible to just plug our PlayStation 5 controller directly into our Switch 2. We are going to be needing an adapter. This is the Mayflash Magic NS USB. This little adapter we can get for about 20 euros, including an OTG cable. I'll be leaving links in this in the description down below. But this will allow us to use our PlayStation 5 controller wired or wirelessly, along with other controllers directly on our Switch or Switch 2, and the Switch 2 we're going to be using in today's video. So we are going to be needing this adapter. This adapter will work in docked or handheld mode. If we are using it in handheld mode, we will need an OTG cable. It's how I'm going to be showing it in today's video. However, we can also plug it directly into our dock. It will work exactly the same as I'm showing, but for the convenience of the video, I'm going to be showing it to you in handheld mode. So before we go any further in the video, I will also mention you may want to update the device firmware on this Mayflash Magic NS USB, just because it can be out of date depending on when you got your device. If it's brand new, the latest version at the time of recording is version 1.34, and I'll be showing you step by step in today's video also how to update this firmware. We're going to be grabbing our device. We're going to be pressing and holding the black button on the side as we plug it into our PC, and we're going to need to wait a couple seconds while holding the button, and it will be recognized on our computer. Now it is possible that you need to wait up to 3 seconds when plugging it in, but you need to make sure that the light on your USB stick is not showing when it's connected to your computer, and this will mean it's actually in updating mode. From this point, we're going to be coming to this website. As always, I'll leave links in the description down below. And this is for the Mayflash websites. Once we're here, we're going to be clicking on product. We're going to be clicking on firmware for Windows. And then we're going to be looking for the Magic NS right here. You'll need to select whatever version of the USB stick you have. I'm currently using the first version, but they should all work pretty much the same. It is also possible to download the firmware for macOS. If you are using macOS, feel free to use that. Once we're on the firmware page, we're going to be downloading the latest package installer, which is version 1.34. At the time of recording, that is the most up-to-date version. Once we're on this page, we're simply going to be clicking the download button right here, and this will download an exe file that we will be opening in a couple of seconds. Once your file is downloaded, you're going to move it to a location where you can find it easily. I just have it in this separate folder in my downloads folder right here. Now when trying to run this application, you may get this not safe pop-up on Windows. This is normal. We can simply click run anyway to launch the application. Once the application opens up, you will see this Mayflash update tool. We will see the current version that our device is on, and we will see the update version. We're simply going to be clicking the update button, and then we're going to be updating our USB device. This will take a couple of seconds, but it should happen quite quickly. Once the update is done, we can simply close this application down. We can then plug our USB stick out, and we can bring it back over to our Nintendo Switch. Once your device is updated, we're going to be plugging it into our Nintendo Switch. As mentioned, you can also plug it directly into our dock. And when we plug it in, it will start to flash a color right away. Now for today's video, we're going to be looking for the red or purple color. If you're planning to use 6-axis support, I would recommend using the purple mode. That's the only way to get 6-axis support on your PlayStation 5 controller. Otherwise, you can feel free to use the red mode. I'm going to be starting off today's video using the red mode to show you that it's exactly the same. But later I'm going to be switching over to the purple mode so we can set up and use 6-axis support. If your device is turned on and is showing another color, we're going to be turning it to the side. We're going to be looking for this black button here. We're going to be holding it for 2 seconds, and then our device will change color to another color. For example, here is purple. And what we're going to do is rotate through all the colors, and we're going to go to the red color from the beginning. So once you're on the red color like this again, what we're going to be doing is first connecting our PlayStation 5 controller up wired. So I'm going to be getting a USB Type-C cable. Now, if you are connecting it directly with a USB-C cable, please make sure it's a data transfer cable and not just a charging cable, as a charging only cable will not work for this method. We're going to be plugging it into our USB adapter. I'm then going to be grabbing my PS5 controller and just plugging it in here. Our PlayStation 5 controller will turn on, and as soon as we press any button, and we'll see our Switch will update here to a Switch Pro controller. I'll just move all of these cables out of the way, and I can pretty much immediately start playing with my PlayStation 5 controller on my Nintendo Switch. So you can see that it'll move around. X and circle will be flipped to match A and B on our Switch, so we can just use that exactly on our PlayStation controller. And here I can load up any game and it will work as expected. Now there is one setting I'd recommend changing from this point, as with the PlayStation 5 controller. So what we're going to be doing is going back to our Switch. We're going to be clicking on the home button here. We're going to be clicking on the cog wheel to go to our settings. We're then going to be scrolling down here on the left, and we're going to be looking for controllers and accessories. And we're going to be looking for the Nintendo Switch Pro controller wired connection. You want to make sure this is enabled. This is going to allow us to use the 6-axis on our PlayStation 5 controller with this adapter. So it's a good setting to have on. From this point, we can see that our controller does work wired. However, if you want to connect it wirelessly, it is slightly different. So I'm going to be disconnecting my PlayStation 5 controller. I'm going to be taking my adapter and I'm going to be plugging out the USB cable. You will have to set it in purple mode. Now the main difference between the red and purple mode is that the purple mode is basically the Switch Pro controller mode, which will allow you to use the PlayStation 5 controller with its 6-axis support. If your device is turned on and is showing another color, we're going to be turning it to the side. We're going to be looking for this black button here. We're going to be holding it for 2 seconds, and then our device will change color to another color. For example, here is purple. And what we're going to do is rotate through all the colors. We're going to be flipping our adapter around, and we want to set it in wireless pairing mode. To do that, we're going to be looking for the black button here, and we're just going to be tapping it. We'll then see a flashing red light on our Mayflash. From this point, we're going to be grabbing our PlayStation 5 controller and we're going to be putting it in pairing mode. We're then going to be pressing the PlayStation button and the share button at the same time for a couple seconds. We'll see this flashing blue light here. We then need to hold our adapter and controller next to each other, and eventually they will pair. As you can see now, they have a full solid light. So the red light is no longer flashing and the blue light is fully on our PlayStation controller. Now we can press any button here and we can see that our controller will work directly wirelessly on our Nintendo Switch 2. With this adapter, this is one of my favorite ways to play because you do get the full 6-axis support on any games that support it, and the controller actually has a pretty good wireless battery life. So if you already have one of these, it can be a good way to get a good wired and wireless controller that you can also use on your PC or anything else. So just like that, I'm going to load into Super Mario Galaxy. Now you can see when I'm playing Super Mario Galaxy, I can actually use my 6-axis to control and actually move it around, similar to a Switch Pro controller. When I'm this close to the screen, it's a bit inaccurate. However, from a distance, it does feel similar to a Switch Pro controller. However, it is really cool that we can do this wirelessly like this. Anyway guys, it's as easy as that to set up and use a PlayStation 5 controller on your Nintendo Switch 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, subscribe if you're new, check out the other videos on the channel. Until next time guys, as always, keep it saucy. Peace.